Good evening. I'm going to call to order the City of Groton Mayor and Council meeting for Monday, November 1st, 2021. Roll call. City Clerk, please call the roll.
Present, we have Mayor Keith Hedrick, Deputy Mayor Guinevere Depot, Councilor Lisa McCabe, Councilor Paul Norris, Councilor Christine Piazza, Councilor Stephen Sheffield, and City Clerk Megan Peters.
Okay, please stand and salute the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you. Recognition, awards, and memorials. Anything from the council? Okay. Receipt of citizens petitions. Receipt of citizens petitions is the portion of the council meeting where the council welcomes comments from citizens. To address the council, please sign the sheet on the table in the front of the meeting room. When you're recognized, please approach the podium. Clearly state your name and address. Each presentation should be limited to 5 minutes or less, and citizens should, if possible, submit emailed or written responses. Presentations should be related to matters pertinent to the City of Groton. City councilors will only ask questions in order to clarify the speaker's presentation and can respond during responses to the citizen petition portion of the meeting. Is there anyone in the audience signed up? Okay. Brian, if you could go to the podium.
It is on.
Okay, it's on already.
Just please talk directly into it and not to the side.
Brian Neiman, 76 Allen Street. What I wish to bring up, I understand isn't in the purview of the city. It concerns the off-ramp from 95 coming into the city. The state DOT recently paved this, looks wonderful, but they've readjusted the lanes. While the original signs with the arrows are still there, there is nothing on the pavement itself designating the direction traffic is supposed to go. And what should be the dedicated left turn lane, there's nothing there. And a number of people have noticed that instead of turning left, cars are going in there and then shooting straight across to North Street. And it's just a matter of time before you're going to have an accident there.
Okay.
So if somebody could reach out to the state of DOT to get the wheels in motion so there's a designation as far as what lane is for what purpose. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Questions on that? Okay. Is it a question or is it a response?
Response. Oh,
Okay, let me get through questions first. Any questions on the citizens petition? Okay, now I will move to the response to citizens petitions comments. Open the floor. Councilor Sheffield. You have the
Yes,
floor.
Mr. Neiman is quite correct. There was a near accident on my lunch hour today, so a near collision, the car going straight across instead of making the left to cross over onto, is it Mitchell? Is it Fish? No, North Street.
North
Yeah,
Street.
so that needs to certainly be addressed.
Well, my
and-
understanding it's just happened, right? They just did this?
Well, it's been a few days.
Yeah, a few days.
I understand it takes time to do these things, but
Yeah,
if
not-
somebody could light a fire under them.
I understand, we don't want to wait on an accident for action, but it's, Bill, I'm
Yes.
sorry, you're,
Yes, if I may, we did take a call into the office this morning on that, and we notified the state to have it corrected.
Oh, good.
So,
okay,
and the wheels are set.
so it looks like we're already on it. So we'll monitor it. If we don't see any action in the next couple of days, then give me a phone number and I'll call someone. Deputy Mayor Depot.
I just wanted to make a comment. Thank you, Brian, for coming, and I want to encourage people again, Councilor Sheffield obviously drove that way, but I haven't driven on that road since they did that. So we need people to bring up those things because we aren't necessarily always in all of those places all the time. So I just want to say, keep, even though, maybe you weren't the only one this time to bring it up, but people need to keep bringing things like that up because we can't be everywhere all the time. And that's how we get them fixed, is by people calling and saying, hey, this is a problem. So, thank you.
Absolutely. And if you're out there and you see things, if you want, you can come to the mayor and council meetings and come to a citizens petitions and speak, or you can call us up at 446-4103. I do know my number. Or you can send us an email at mayor@cityofgroton-ct.gov. And then that way you can let us know. You can, I wouldn't recommend posting on Facebook because that's not how we govern. And we may see it on Facebook, we may not see it on Facebook, but I do not have someone that directly monitors Facebook. So the best bet is either to give us a call or send us an email. So, very good.
Or come on in.
Or come on in, absolutely. Anyone else want to respond? Councilor Piazza.
I just want to say thank you for bringing that up, because I do go over to New London for New London Science Tech Magnet. I drive for there, so coming over, there's been a couple times in the bus, I haven't had enough time to move over to the, because I forget, I guess I depended on the arrows, so I totally get that. And it seems to me, I'm not sure if you've seen it, Brian, it's like, to me, or you, Steve, it's like, it seems to have shifted a little bit to the right.
It did. I noticed that
Yeah.
yesterday. Yesterday was the first time I used it. And I'm like, when I come over,
Yes.
I was gonna go, and then next thing I know, somebody's right beside me, and I'm like,
Correct.
okay, something happened here.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
But-
it is shifted.
It used to be when you came off the highway and started to turn,
yeah,
if you were going to go into that lane to go straight across the north, you'd be in the left-hand lane.
Correct.
Correct,
You have 2 lanes there. and
Correct.
1 lane dedicated to going to Bridge Street,
correct.
and they shifted it.
they did.
Yeah. And so so I come with the bus and like, oh no, I gotta get off to the right.
So we will continue to monitor this and keep people posted. Councilor Sheffield.
Ed, yeah, one more thing is, yeah, it creates the backup for people who need to go off, going towards Electric Boat on the other side. And it gets back up towards the bridge because
Yep.
now it's 1 lane going 2 directions now. So
Well, and the other thing, if you're going to Electric Boat, don't go down Thames Street. I mean, you can, but don't go down Thames Street. Go down Clarence B. Sharp or Industrial Highway. And that's what it's designed for that volume of traffic to get you through there. And that way, you can go down Brandegee to go to Pfizer. You can go up to Rainville and take a right and go straight in to Electric Boat. That is the preferred route to come in for if you're going to Electric Boat or to Pfizer.
That's why I haven't seen this. That's the way I go all the time.
Right.
Okay.
So, I mean, I realize that some people want to cut down themes and some people want to cut through the residential areas, but I'm asking you to minimize going through residential areas because it makes people nervous. We got kids out there and we don't want the children to get hit. So we have set up speed trailers. We are doing enforcement, but we certainly don't want to see anyone get hit. So, thank you. Approval of the minutes. Need a motion to approve the October 4th, 2021 mayor and council meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any corrections to the minutes? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. Need a motion to approve the October 25th, 2021 committee of the whole meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second,
We have a motion and a second. Are there any corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, motion carries. Communications and reports, where do we go? Counselor Norris.
Thank you. At first, just wanted to say that I did receive an email today that I hope all city residents got this, and it was regarding the Connecticut Water Assistance Program. That's offered by the state that just opened up today. So for more information, in New London County here, they can go to Thames Valley Council for Community Action, which is TVCCA, and they can get more information about that. I'd also take the opportunity to remind anyone that if you want to get hold of the mayor's office or anyone here on council, please just go to the website. You can find our email addresses and our phone numbers, and you can always jot us a line and let us know what you're thinking, what you're feeling. And that was pretty much it, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Counselor McCabe?
Yes, I just wanted to remind everybody, Scarecrow Trail, I know Halloween is over, but the scarecrows are still out until the 4th, I think it is. So check them out and email in your votes. And also, I think Farmers Market ended this past Tuesday.
That's correct?
And we're gonna have a pop-up farmer's market coming up in a couple
Hold on.
weeks on a Saturday.
Yes, it
13th. Okay.
It is, hold on. Whoops, I don't have it on my calendar. It is the second Saturday of the month
Okay.
from, yes, from,
November to April.
10 to 2?
from,
What did it used to be last year?
Oh, maybe 8?
no, it's not 8 o'clock in the morning. I thought it was like noon to 2. All right, let's look at that on
We should
the
look that up.
Parks and Rec.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't prepared to discuss that, so I didn't have that in my hand, but it is the second Tuesday.
All right. And that's all for me.
Okay? Counselor Sheffield.
I briefly attended the Officer of the Year dinner at the Elks, and I wanted to congratulate our city officer, and I can't pronounce his last name, but our
Gradowitz. Common spell.
common spelling. But congratulations to him and to
Yep.
the rest of the fellow officers of New London County.
Absolutely.
That's all.
Counselor Piazza.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm sorry I missed the Officer of the Year thing. It was homecoming for New London, so that was, my time was taken there. So, but I did want to ask, since we're talking about the Scarecrow Trail and the pop-up November 13th, I did want to ask, because we are having the, on Tuesdays for the COVID testing, but since we have the
Yes.
elections, will that not be happening? Because I know last week it was out because of the rain, but, I mean, do they?
They did not tell me that they wanted to cancel tomorrow. What they did say, though, is that moving forward, because of the dark, we're going to do from 2 to 6. It was 3 to 7, now it's going to be 2 to 6, thank you.
2 to
And we're
6.
still going to be doing it. They did not, hold on, let me check my email and see if I got something after normal business.
As far as we're concerned, they were still on for tomorrow. This was
They are.
as of after the cancellation.
Because we have quite a few bus drivers and some people that have asked me from EB, and so I
Okay.
just try to keep them. They said, "What about the election?" I was like, "Oh, geez," I was thinking about that. I
Yep,
was like,
I do
let me
not-
find out.
I do not have an email from them canceling for tomorrow.
Okay, so it's, as far as we know,
should
it's
be
still
tomorrow
on,
from
and
2
2 to 6.
2 to 6.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Anything else?
That's it. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
If I could just finish, the first farmer's market is November 13th, and it's 10 a.m. to 1.
10 to 1, okay?
Right.
Then I was way off.
I was gonna say that. Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry.
just kidding.
I was close.
Deputy Mayor,
I'm just kidding. I did look it up. On October 15th, I attended the law enforcement dinner. Once again, it's a great thing the Elks do. Another neat thing about it is it's not just Groton police officers, it's other local departments as well, including the Navy base, which is neat to include them because they kind of get excluded, I think, from a lot of our stuff, but they're police officers also. And that's always a great time to recognize all of our officers. On the 22nd, I volunteered at the food box distribution at St. John's Christian Church again, and we are continuing to do them. Groton Utilities is funding them now, since United Way, I think their budget just is too small to have every site open, so they're able to provide the food if we provide the funding, so we've been doing that. So then the next one is, I think, the 3rd. Right. I think you're right. I think it's right, because
Yes.
otherwise it'd be after
yeah, November
Thanksgiving.
12th from noon to 2 at St. John's.
Right. So, and again, if you could use a box of food, last time there was, we also had hand soaps, hand sanitizers, so it's not even just food, which is, great. People were really happy to get some hand soap and sanitizer we had somebody come that does like deliveries, and they were like, oh, put this in my truck. So, if you can use it, we'll give it to you. And I just wanted to remind everyone that tomorrow is Election Day. Please vote. And if you don't know where your voting location is, feel free to call the clerk's office or go online. and they will help you figure that out. Please don't forget to vote. Voting's open 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. And that's all I got.
So, a couple things, going back to the food drive. If you can't make it and you can't come out, call us, 860-446-4103, and give us your name and your address, and we'll pick up a box and we'll deliver it to you. If you can get out and you have neighbors that are food insecure and they need food, please come and we will give you a box of food for your neighbors as well. It's a tremendous thing that we did earlier tonight. I gave some food, working with the community meals, Groton Community Meals, that's at the Lutheran Church. And I'm working with Children First Groton. They asked for volunteers, and I volunteered to drive, so I was able to deliver some food. So if you want to get involved in that, either for delivery, let us know, or if you need food, let us know, and we'll get you on the list. So there are lots of programs that are out there to try to get us all through this period. And Clerk Peters, do you have anything to report?
I also volunteer at the food box distribution on the 22nd. It's my favorite day of the month. I really enjoy helping the community. So it's a great event. Come out if you want to volunteer, come out. If you need food, come out. We'd love to see you there.
Okay. I want to reiterate what Deputy Mayor said about voting. Tomorrow is voting day. It is an important election. Get out and vote. It is one of your rights and responsibilities as a citizen to vote. In the city, if you're in District 3, you vote at the Zabierski House. If you're in District 2, you vote at the Municipal Building. Is that right?
No.
I swapped them.
We've swapped them.
Okay, sorry. If you're in,
I was gonna say, wait, what?
all right. If you normally vote at the Municipal Building, come to the Municipal Building. If you normally vote at the Z House, then come to the Z House. So, I do know the districts, I just sometimes get them mixed up.
It's okay.
As everyone knows out there and everybody around the table, we have a mask mandate in the city of Groton, in the town of Groton, and in the city of New London. I received an email from Steve Mansfield today, and we are coordinating a meeting with Mike Passero, John Burt, Steve Mansfield, and myself on Monday to talk about how to transition out of the mask mandate based on the numbers that we have. We're seeing our infection rates go down. We are out of highly transmissible to, I'm not sure what the next one is, but the next one down, we're in it. We are out of orange into yellow. And so more information will come out. So it's next Monday that we'll be meeting, and then we'll be getting the information out on Facebook, other social media. We'll probably issue a letter and go around to the businesses to make sure and let them know what the transition is. But we're trying to transition to the next phase of this. If you were watching the town council meeting last week, you saw that they are looking at what to do with cannabis. And I'm going to be bringing some information to you guys in the near future. I don't think it's going to be for November, probably for December. We have a smoking ordinance already in the parks. So I'm looking to probably expand that to include cannabis there. One of the things that the town is wrestling with, and I will bring to you, and this is why I want to mention it now, is the law allows the municipalities to expand it, not just from parks, but to all municipally owned property. And that would include sidewalks and everything else. So that's going to be the discussion. One of the discussions is how far do we want to go out? Do you want to keep it at the parks, or do we want to include all municipally owned and managed properties? And we'll talk more about that as we bring stuff to you. In addition to that, planning and zoning, I've talked to Leslie Crean. Planning and zoning will be looking at whether or not to allow establishments to sell cannabis here. We'll talk about that at the council as well. And then lastly, at some point, I will get Linda to come in, Linda Avedisian, our HR director, to come in and talk about some of the personnel policies that we are going to change as a result of the new cannabis policy. So, Deputy Mayor Dee.
Are you expecting that to be at the next COW meeting, the next committee of the whole meeting, or
No,
further down the road?
I don't think it's going to be in November. I think it's going to be in December or later. Because we met this morning and I'm not ready to bring it to you. It's going to take us a couple meetings anyway. This is broad enough and it's an emotional topic for some people. So it's going to be, there's enough areas that I think it's going to take us 2, maybe 3 committee of the wholes to go through it and talk about it and look at, different aspects of it. So I'm not sure yet how I'm going to bring it to you, if I'm going to bring it to you with all the issues at one time, or if I'm going to say, we'll talk about this issue at this meeting, this issue at the next meeting. But I'm still determining how we're going to do that.
I just wanted to add that I think that issue in particular, to me, it's important to get a sense of what the residents want. And I don't know how many people watch our meetings, but if you've gotten this far, if you have an opinion on it, please send it to us. I mean, I in particular want to see it. I would guess that the whole council would be interested to see what people think. I would prefer not to have this decision made just on the discussion of us in this room.
I
I
agree.
don't think that will probably be and end up being good. So
No,
I would
it-
like to get as much input as we can from.
No, I agree.
residents.
There may, one of the things that the town council is discussing is whether or not they're going to have a public hearing. We're debating internally on whether or not we want to have a public hearing. I'm leaning toward a public hearing to get input to see what that looks like and go from there. So, Councilor McCabe.
I was just wondering, does the ordinance against or prohibiting smoking and the ones that we're going to be discussing about cannabis, do they include vaping products, and particular vaping of cannabis products?
Our current policy, I didn't bring it with me, it's on my desk. Our current policy does not discuss vaping because it goes back in 2013. So vaping wasn't
A
very
thing?
popular then.
Right.
We are talking about whether or not we're going to include vaping in it. Now, the state statute or the law allows us to prohibit vaping of cannabis products in the parks. So that's going to be a discussion that we'll have here because, so smoking of cannabis is close to smoking, but it's also like alcohol, those kind of things. So you look at that. One of the things that I'm looking at is someone asked me, are you going to prohibit cannabis from the parks at all? And my answer to that is no. That's where I'm at, and we'll see where the council and residents go. And the reason I say that is alcohol is legal, cannabis is legal. We allow alcohol in the parks as long as you don't have kegs or glass containers. And I wouldn't have a problem with edibles or stuff like that for cannabis. It's just the smoking issue gets a little more complicated. And that's why we'll have a discussion. I'm sure it'll be quite vigorous when we get to that point here. So
Thank
I just wanted to give you a heads up that will be coming down the road. And that's all I have. Anyone else have anything? Okay, we'll move on to new business. Counselor Norris.
Yes, resolution 163.
162.
162, sorry. Therefore, may it be resolved, the mayor and council accepts and approves a grant award from the United States Department of Justice, Office of Justice Programs Bulletproof Gas Partnership Program in the amount of $4,060.00, and that the Mayor, Keith Hedrick, be authorized to execute said agreement. I so move.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. This was discussed during the committee of the whole. Is there any additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. Counselor McCabe.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Resolution R-21-11-163. Therefore, be it resolved that the City Council may enter into, with, and deliver to the State of Connecticut Department of Emergency Services and Public Protection, Division of Emergency Management and Homeland Security, any and all documents which it deems to be necessary or appropriate. Further resolved that Keith Hedrick, as mayor of the city of Groton, is authorized and directed to execute and deliver any and all documents on behalf of the city council and to do and perform all acts and things that he deems to be necessary or appropriate to carry out the terms of such documents, including but not limited to executing and delivering all agreements and documents contemplated by such documents. I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. This was also discussed during the committee of the whole. I know it's a long resolution. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. Deputy Mayor Depot.
Resolution R-21-11-164. Therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council accept the Connecticut Department of Public Health Active Transportation Grant for in-kind services valued at $42,500.00 to develop complete street plans and implementation project at the intersection of I-95 Bridge Street and North Street. I so move.
Second.
Motion, we have a motion and a second. This was discussed during the committee of the whole. Is there any additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. Thank you. Councilor Sheffield.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution R-21-11-165. Therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and council waive the bidding requirement of policy number 1004, policy and procedures governing the purchase and practices of Groton Utilities, and authorize Groton Utilities Management to issue a purchase order to Siemens Energy Incorporated, 4400 Alfaya Trail, Orlando, Florida, for the amount not to exceed $272,844.00, which includes a 10% contingency for the purchase of 3 circuit breakers as part of the Eastern Connecticut Terminal Upgrade Project to be paid by the transmission lines 1410/1280/Buddington Substation, fiscal year 2022 bond fund project. I so move.
We have a motion and a second. This was discussed during the committee of the whole. Is there any additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. Councilor Piazza.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution R-21-11-166. Therefore, let it be resolved that the mayor and council authorize Groton Utilities Management to issue a purchase order to Gray Bar, 80 Pepsi Road, Manchester, New Hampshire, for an amount not to exceed $430,988.35, which includes a 25% contingency for materials required for the 400/FIP 1410/1280 transmission line upgrade to be paid by the transmission lines 1410/1280/400 Buddington Station, fiscal year 2022 bond fund project. I so move.
Second.
Excuse me.
We have a motion and a second. This was discussed during the committee of the whole. Is there any additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. Councilor Norris.
Thank you, Your Honor. Hopefully I'm reading the right one.
167.
R-21-11-167. Therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and council approve and uphold Groton Utilities Management decision to issue 2 emergency purchase orders to H.O. Penn Machinery Company, Inc. of 122 Knoxon Road, Poughkeepsie, New York. One in the amount of $24,900.33 for urgent repairs to the standby backup generator located at the City of Groton Municipal Building, and a second in the amount not to exceed $7,684.40 for the rental of a portable standby backup generator while the primary generator is out of service, to be paid from available cash in the approved fiscal year 2022 electric budget. I so move.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. This is discussed during the committee of the whole. That's done now, right?
Correct.
Okay, so just to let you know, the repair is complete. The portable generator's been returned, and we're back to full service. So, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, abstention, motion carries. Counselor McCabe.
Resolution R-21-11-168. Therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and council finally approve an amendment to ordinance number 167, an ordinance adopting a harbor management plan for the city of Groton. I so move.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. This is the second reading of the ordinance as required. Yeah, is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. Deputy Mayor Depot.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution R-21-11-169. Therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and city council reestablish a youth advisory committee for the purpose of advising the mayor and council on issues related to the community's youth. I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. This is discussed during the committee of the whole. Is there any further discussion? Deputy Mayor Depot.
I love the idea of doing this. Do we have a plan for getting people involved, or are we just waiting for people to volunteer?
No, we're gonna reach out. We're asking for volunteers, but we're also gonna reach out to people. I need to talk to Mary to see, how we're going to populate the committee and then get it started.
Is
We'll
it
keep
going
you
to
guys-
be appointments like the other committees and commissions where it comes through the council first?
I think, yes, I think so. I don't know. I need to look to see if it's my appointment only, or if if they come to the council.
The only reason I'm asking is because I know that we discussed the desire to have a variety of people on the committee. But as we all know, it is difficult to get volunteers sometimes for those things. So I think, for example, if we knew that we had enough volunteers that were parents, say, and we needed some student volunteers, any of us, say, a bus driver, or, you know, another parent who had a student that was of, you know, whatever age we're doing, 16 or 15 or whatever,
Got it?
and knew a kid that could be interested, we could pass the word along, we could target those people. That's the only reason I'm asking.
I'll bring that back to you at the next meeting.
Okay.
Councilor McCabe.
Is there going to be a liaison to the committee from the city council, like, say, a bus driver or something?
I don't know. Let me ask. Well, I think that's a good idea. Let me ask Mary about the liaison.
Okay.
Any other comments? Okay, hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, abstention? Okay, before we adjourn, I need a motion to suspend the rules to add resolution R-21-11-170 to the mayor and council meeting.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. Councilor Sheffield, do you have that motion? Okay. All right, so it's your motion, sir.
Is this new, have we discussed the motion
Nope.
prior? Okay,
This is-
I wasn't sure if it needed to be discussed before we,
No, you read it, you move it, second it, and we're open to floor for discussion, and
okay.
it
Oh,
will
okay.
get discussed.
All right, very good,
I recognize that I'm bringing it to you cold, that it has not been previously discussed at a committee of the whole, but there's a reason, and that will come out during the discussion portion.
Very good. Resolution R-21-11-170, therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council authorize and approve the contract with Connecticut Seal Coating Incorporated, 356 Munger Lane, Bethlehem, Connecticut, for crack sealing of those roads identified by city personnel in an amount not to exceed $20,000 and no cents, to be paid from approved fiscal year 2022,
Oh, wow.
just says
That
fiscal
should
year
be-
22, yeah.
Yeah, FY 2022.
Fiscal year 2022 highway operating funds, I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Okay. Director Robards, this is where you get to come up and explain, one, what this is about, and two, why, one, what it is, sense of urgency, and why we're bringing it up.
And you gotta speak directly into it
Yes,
and not from the side.
That's a, very good, thank you. Requesting approval to award Connecticut Seal Coating, Inc., not to exceed contract for $20,000. And that's to crack seal several roads that we have on site. So ideally, the season to perform this work is fall and spring, right? So, and ultimately, fall is best because the cracks are most open, right, when we put the sealant in. We have an approved budget for $20,000 for this, and it's for contracted services for roads and streets. Connecticut Seal Coating is a state of Connecticut approved vendor for this. We've used them last year as well. Typically, we'll fund $10,000 to $20,000 each year to do this. It's part of a maintenance plan for roads. So you pave them, and the life expectancy is 15, 20 years, but you want to maintain them, as needed. These particular roads were identified as needing crack sealing. I can list the roads for you. They're Bridge Street, North, Meridian, Thames, and Broad. I have a proposal right now for 3 of the roads that was, let's see, $15,000 or $16,044, and we've identified a couple more roads. Hence, that's why I have the not to exceed $20,000 for the line item. Okay. Questions?
Question or comments for the director? Deputy Mayor Depot.
So if this is a thing that we do annually, is there a reason that it didn't come to us at the COW at the last committee of the whole meeting?
So again, we were looking at doing the work either fall or spring. This spring, we have 2 roads coming up, so we're going to be doing the full depth reclamation on Aquatic Road, and also we're going to be mill and repaving Mitchell. So the urgency came to try to get this done, and speaking with Connecticut Seal Coating, they have 3 weeks available right now, and they offered up, they can come in and get this done for you before we shut down December 1st. So the timing worked for us.
Have I brought up, or have we brought up that, is this the first time you heard that, that Aquatic Road and Mitchell Street were moved to April of next year? Because I thought we had brought this up before at a committee of the whole, but, okay, good. I just want to make sure, it's important to me that you guys are aware.
That it was moved or that was gonna be done? I don't remember that was gonna be done. I don't remember.
We were hoping to get Mitchell done sooner,
We,
but with
Right.
all of the rain in the season, the contractor that we're using was fully backed up. They extended it once, and then the last time they came back and asked if we can get this going in March. We've asked them to make us, first in the queue if we could, so we can get that going before we move over to Aquatic Road.
yeah, road repair, we're going to be very involved next year.
Very busy spring.
Deputy Mayor Depot.
You said that we have money in the budget to do it this year. How much did we spend last year on crack sealing?
$10,000.
So we're spending a little bit more this year
We did.
because we've identified.
Yeah, we identified roads that needed it, so, and we go out and get an estimate of how much we're gonna need. Materials went up a little bit, and $20,000 works.
Okay, thank you.
Councilor Norris. And then-
I want to say I appreciate you jumping on this right now because plants and everything else shut down really quickly. And we do know leaving a crack open, rain gets in there, freezes, and then you got a bigger problem in the spring. So I applaud you and thank you for bringing this to us right away.
Thank you.
Councilor Sheffield.
So the contractor reached out to us basically to, see if we had additional work that could be done we had, or?
No, so what we do is we do an assessment, so there's a couple of different variables that go into it. An assessment done by the staff, so my supervisor and I go around and take a look. Some of these roads are, were identified last year as being something that we want to keep an eye on. We also have the Street Logics report, which is something that we participate with this town and the city, we both go in. So we look at the metrics for that, and that gives an assessment for the roads from 0 to 100, and there are 4 categories for them, and they fall into, so if you get below 1 through 39, it's something that you want to look at a full depth reclamation, and that's what we're going to be doing with Aquatic Road. The next category is 40 to 69, and that's a rehabilitation, so you want to look at resurfacing, crack filling, and that's where these roads all fall into, okay? And it's a broad range, 40 through 69, so you really want to look at, where it's at in the queue, how often is it trafficked, and then we do a timely condition assessment as well to back up the Street Logics report, and that's how we select the roads.
Councilor Norris.
I'm sorry. In that same assessment, do they give a general grade for streets within the city?
They do. So on average, you mean across
Yep.
all the streets in the street? Actually, I do. So there is, so the average assessment across the city is a 74.
Okay.
So 74 really puts you in a pretty good spot. So
Right.
that's 70 through 84 is really in a maintain.
Yep.
So that's our average, and that just means we restripe, we continue to clean the roads and maintain them that way.
Right.
Okay. So on average, we're a little bit
Pretty good.
above.
Right, thank you.
And that's all part of road maintenance, that's all part of extending our infrastructure. Infrastructure maintenance is extremely important to me and has been to councils in the past, and I think is important to this current council. Councilor Piazza.
Thank you. I just wanted to ask, so on these streets, so I'm assuming it's the entire street that you've mentioned?
So
So they
truly
just
not
go the
so.
entire road and
Right,
fix
and
whatever
if,
needs to
if
be
you
done?
look at the assessment, the Street Logics report, it breaks it down on subsets. So, for example, from Broad Street, you're going to hit, it's from that point till we hit that point. So, for example, Bridge Street has 3 sections in between, intersections, okay?
Uh-huh.
And that's kind of how it goes.
Okay. So my other question is, well, I actually have 2. So, I'm assuming that they would start this immediately.
Correct.
Okay.
Probably within a week or so.
Okay. And so what would that be as far as construction? Would it be lane shut down, just one way back and forth, and you'll have people to direct traffic?
So that the price is going to include traffic control. It'll
Okay.
be performed off hours for the most part,
Okay.
and it should be little to no impact.
What's off hours?
So after 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock-ish.
Up to what time?
I don't know that, I'll have to check. But typically, they plan on this work being performed off hours in the evening.
So my other question may be a little off of this, but we're talking about the Mitchell Street and Aquatic being moved to March. So my concern is the other day, so driving down Mitchell Street and it was raining, it was dark. Since that's gonna be pushed to March, I thought, oh, they're gonna be doing this soon, but the striping for the crosswalks is very difficult to see on the Sacred Heart side. And a gentleman, and a lot of people cross there from EB early in the morning, cause I'm out about 5:30.
Yeah.
And it's like, and somebody almost walked into my car, but I didn't even see
Yeah.
him. So since we're not gonna move into that, is anything gonna be done in reference to crosswalks? Cause they're really fading and they're hard to see, let alone we see 1,000,000 times people not stopping for people in crosswalks. So it's just something that's
Mhm.
come to my attention, I mean,
Yeah.
it's like.
So it's right at the 5 corners, you saw that?
No, actually the one right
Sacred
by
Heart?
Carnes,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's something that we do throughout the year. So we line stripe, we maintain the curbing, the yellow on the curbings.
Yeah.
We maintain the signage, is something that we try to stay on top of.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate anybody calling in because it helps us catch them. So we're the eyes and the ears, but we also need the eyes and the ears from the others to call in as well. So I will take a look at that for you as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
when
and
we
I think,
do the road, I'll make sure that we do that because we're gonna do we're gonna self-perform the striping.
okay, because I was even looking at the lighting to see, because, up on EB there at the top of the hill, but also too because we passed by the National Guard quite a bit, you know, because a lot of buses go that way. But they have really great lighting there, so I was like, is it the lighting, so I think it was just a combination, but it was also raining, since we've had so much rain. It's just, to me, it's just promoting the higher risk category for me.
I'll take a look at it.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments from the council? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, abstention, motion carries. And I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Thank you.
I make a motion to adjourn?
Second?
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. Thank you all for coming out.
Thank you, Bill.